You're good to go, Kim.
Good Saturday evening, H-Town. I'm your meteorologist, Kim Castro. We are just about 12 hours away from feeling a very, very sharp temperature drop. Our first freeze of the season, an Arctic blast, is headed our way. We're talking about a drop in feels like temperatures of about 60 degrees. Felt like the mid-80s today. By tomorrow morning, you're going to feel like you are in the mid-20s. 26 degrees for Bush is what it's going to feel like, 13 degrees for College Station. What's going to get us there? I'll let you know about it. First, let's have a check at current temperatures just to see what type of a difference we're talking about. Already you can see the divide of some cooler air starting to sink in. We'll really see that pick up right around the midnight hour, and especially as we head into the early portion of our Sunday. Second day of 2022 is going to look a lot different than the first day of 2022. 74 degrees right now at Bush, Hobby, Sugarland, Pearland, you're at 72. Angleton, Wharton, you're scraping the upper 60s now. Have a look at how warm the first day of 2022 truly was. We not only broke records, we shattered them. Anytime we get above 1 or 2 degrees past the previous record, it really is we smoked them. 80 degrees is where Galveston made it up to, 4 degrees past that last record set back in 1934. Hobby also broke the record, making it up to the mid-80s for Bush. Now this record is even more significant because this also breaks an all-time record for the month of January. So 84 degrees was the last warmest recorded temperature for the month of January. Guys, we are in winter, but we made it up to 85 degrees. So not only a daily record, but a monthly record. Here's a look at temperatures statewide. Look at the panhandle, 11 degrees in Amarillo, and we're seeing that cold air starting to sink in. This is the leading edge of that polar front. El Paso already in the low 40s, Midland 30 degrees, wanting to break into the 20s. And we're already seeing Austin starting to see that cool weather filter in there. 59 degrees is where Austin is currently at. And look at that cold air. It continues to affect northern states, with Minnesota getting close to negative 30 degrees, North Dakota getting close to negative 20 degrees, South Dakota also negative territory, Nebraska negative territory, Iowa in the single digits, and Kansas too. 8 degrees in Dodge City. And again, you can see the very, very sharp divide between opposing air masses. Very warm, very humid, very dry, very cold. That's a recipe for some severe weather activity. We saw a little bit of a wintry mix in the panhandle. There it is. But just a couple of flurries there, nothing to be concerned with. The very active weather is to our north and to our east. You can see some winter weather dumping down there in Illinois. We could see some of that in Indiana. We see that in Ohio, but we could see the very, very severe weather as those two air masses collide. So severe thunderstorm warnings were issued for parts of Tennessee, for parts of Kentucky, for Alabama, for Georgia. We can also see some tornado warnings and even watches were issued for this afternoon. They're also dealing with flash flooding and definitely street flooding with a lot of moisture from these two air masses coming together. Now we are on the back end of the front, so the warning for us, the big thing to watch for is the cold. We've got two areas that are seeing the potential for freezing conditions. The first is going to be for our northern and western counties, basically north of I-10. We are expecting to see those temperatures drop below the freezing mark. And there's a warning there in effect until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. This includes Grimes County and areas to our north and to our west. Now the freeze watch, that extends all the way to the coast, and that's actually for Monday morning. So we're not only going to be dealing with very, very cold starts to our days tomorrow, but also on Monday. In fact, Monday will be even cooler. A freeze watch, the difference between a warning and a watch: a warning is imminent, so that's about to happen. A watch is looking ahead as to what's going to happen. So that's going to encompass all of us. And that's not all the warnings we have to watch for yet. So behind those warnings, we've got something else to deal with. So first off, we've got a wind advisory. So in addition to the cold, we're going to be dealing with very, very breezy conditions for tomorrow. And that's going to mean that wind chill values, what it's actually going to feel like outside, is going to be much cooler than actual temperature readings. And that's going to be important because we care about how we feel, doesn't really matter what the numbers show. We want to know how we actually feel. And boy, oh boy, it's going to feel really, really chilly out there. There's also a hard freeze watch. So northern counties, including Grimes and Walker, you're not done with the cold air come tomorrow morning. You're going to feel the first of it. You're also going to see a hard freeze watch. That means it lasts for longer. Those temperatures in the mid-20s is where they're going to plummet. So something to keep in mind when moving forward for people, pets, and plants. So we always watch for the 4 Ps when we see a freeze come up: people, pets, plants, and pipes. Pipes I'm not too concerned with. Maybe in the northern counties when we have this hard freeze watch, you might want to wrap some outdoor pipes, but otherwise it's really people that we have to be concerned with, elderly or neighbors, anybody that might not have a good working heater or might just need a little bit more assistance. Just check in on them tomorrow, make sure they're good to go. And of course our pets, if you have your pets sleeping outside typically, you're going to want to snuggle up to them for tomorrow morning and into Monday morning too. And then your plants, if you're able to transport them inside, do that. Otherwise, if you have a cover for them, go ahead and do that for tomorrow morning and for Monday morning too. All right, those are the warnings there. Now let's get to the timing of this front. That's a snapshot of 3 o'clock in the morning. So Austin now seeing those temperatures drop into the low 40s. Del Rio, upper 50s. Houston already seeing temperatures drop in the low 50s. We're sitting at 53 degrees at 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay, let's fast forward through time again. 9 o'clock is going to be the coldest temperatures that we're going to feel for this front Arctic blast that's passing through. 36 degrees in Houston, and it's going to feel a lot cooler because again, we are dealing with the wind. So for the last few days, we've had wind pumping in from the south. It was really breezy today, wasn't it? Yeah, so that's a lot of that Gulf moisture that kept us warm. Now this is a different kind of wind we're going to be experiencing for tomorrow. So that's a snapshot already at 10:30. We're going to see that wind start to pick up for our northern and western counties. So areas like College Station, Brenham, Huntsville already seeing winds picking up at 15 to 20 miles an hour. Okay, let's take it through, fast forward through time there. Widespread wind picking up at 3 o'clock overnight. So you might hear those trees, some outdoor furniture, things rattling outside. It's going to be a breezy night for us. Wind then starts to pick up as we head into the 9 o'clock hour. And like I mentioned, that's going to be the coolest point of the day. Very, very chilly. Temperatures bottoming out below the freezing mark for many spots, otherwise very close to that. So it's no surprise that we have very cold air right at that time. We have very strong wind right at that time. Those together are going to mean that we're going to see very, very cool feels like conditions. All right, we'll fast forward to time again. That's a snapshot at 4:30, and temperatures, wind speeds rather, starting to subside a little bit. So rather than the 20s, we'll start to get into the teens. Wind for the most part tomorrow is going to be sustained right around 20 to 25 miles an hour. So that's throughout the day, a very steady, strong stream of wind, gusts getting up to 35 miles an hour, starting to really ease up for us at 7 o'clock. And that, once wind starts to calm, that's going to allow for those temperatures to cool off even further as we head into our Monday morning. So what is it going to feel like? 1:30 in the morning, it's going to feel like 62 degrees at Bush. So about a 20 or so degree drop from where we felt this afternoon. All right, then we get into the low 40s. So we don't even get into the 50s. We go from the 60s to the 40s. So that's already about a 40 degree drop from what you felt this afternoon. All right, fast forward through time again, 7 o'clock in the morning. Now it feels like the mid 30s. We were in the mid 80s this afternoon. Now a 50 degree drop in what you're gonna feel. All right, fast forward through time again, 9 o'clock in the morning, mid 20s. So potentially feeling 60 degrees cooler than where we were this afternoon. And that's just for Bush, because if you take your eyes further north and further west, you're going to see the teens. 18 degrees is what it's going to feel like in Huntsville, College Station. You're going to feel like it's 13 degrees outside. Very difficult to conceptualize, especially after all of this record warmth we experienced in the month of December. Brenham feels like 15 degrees for you in the morning. And then look at this, something else to note. That's 3 o'clock, typically when we experience the warmest part of the day. So that's your warning. The warmest part of the day is going to feel like right around 37 degrees for Bush, 33 degrees for College Station. Huntsville, it's going to feel freezing for the warmest part of your Sunday. Livingston, same deal, very close to the freezing mark, 33 degrees. Brenham, very close to the freezing mark too. And everybody hovering in the 30s for the warmest part of our Sunday. So a very chilly Sunday, to say the least. Actual temperatures, remember, the readings, if you check the app on your phone, it's going to say mid 40s, but it's going to feel like the mid 30s. Temperatures getting into the mid 50s as we head into Monday. Remember, chilly start to the day there. We're going to see temperatures climb rather quickly, so we're already in the mid 70s come Wednesday. But then we've got another front pushing through, so temperatures will drop into the upper 60s. We'll take it down into the mid 50s, starting to rebound again for our weekend into the low 70s. So definitely a roller coaster forecast, which is why I'm glad you were tuning in to watch this, and I hope you tune in to join us tonight at 10 o'clock and again tomorrow morning at 6:30. I'll be here with you all weekend long to walk you through this first Arctic blast, the first freeze of this season. I'll see you then.